we doing tonight? Look, wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying some nice weather, because where I'm at right now, it is currently overcast, and man, oh man, it is so windy outside. I can hear Annie Ann screaming, Dorothy! But hey, you already know what the deal is. It is Friday night. Friday Night SmackDown is on, and it's a new episode tonight, baby. But one of the things that, speaking of big nights, you're not going to want to miss to tune in tomorrow night. Why? Because tomorrow night on this channel is a live stream of UFC 313 as reigning, defending, undisputed light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira puts his title on the line against Magomed Ankalaev. We're going to get to that fight in just a minute, but for right now, it's time for the most uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored sports talk show you will find on social media. And at the end of the day, you will know whose game this is, with everybody saying no mercy sports. Let's get into the intro, baby.
Nobody can stop me now.
Let me talk to you. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are live! And speaking of a Bruce Buffer-like introduction, like I said, Saturday night, live stream, UFC 313, Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. You're not going to want to miss it, baby. Speaking of the UFC fight itself, if you don't want to miss it, be sure to click the link in the description of this video to sign up for the TV service that I have so you can tune in for the fight as well. All you need is a Gmail. And hey, once you find the right package that you are looking for, because I kid you not when I say this, it is $20 a month. I'll say that again, $20 a month, or $60 every 3 months. And let me tell you what's included. You got international channels. You got free pay-per-views. You got NBA. You got MLB. You got NHL. You got the NFL. You got Major League Soccer. You get a whole bunch of stuff. You even get all the local channels and all the regular channels that you would see. I'm talking Paramount, A&E, Adult Swim, CBS. The list goes on and on. But hey, like I said, do not take my word for it. Click the link in the description of this video and be sure to click the tab that says DSTV hosting. You will not be sorry, because I'm sure you're sick and tired of paying $100+ a month, for crying out loud, for the TV service that you're watching right now. And not to mention, it's just all the local yokel channels. I mean, come on, what are you doing? Not to mention you're having to spend 60+ bucks to watch a pay-per-view? Man, get out of here. Now, like I said, we're going to get right into UFC 313 in just a bit. But for right now, we got some baseball we need to talk, baby, because baseball season is right around the corner. Or I should say the regular season is right around the corner, because right now, we are currently on the stage of MLB spring training. Why? Because, teams want to see, hey, how good are you? Are you good enough to make the regular season roster? Are you good enough to step up to the majors, become the player that you are playing like at the minor league, at the spring training minor league level? Can you bring what you're bringing to the table on the spring training level? Well, speaking of baseball, there's a team that I'm a huge fan of. I've been a fan of them my entire life, the New York Yankees. And as far as I've been a fan of them, man, oh man, have they ever had some serious policies about growing facial hair. Now, the policy was, hey, if you're coming to the Yankees, you're not going to have any facial hair. The only type of facial hair that we allow is mustaches. That was it. However, just when I thought that the Cubs winning the World Series in 2016 and the Dodgers having to spend over $1 billion in this past off season, or going into the 2024 season, my mistake, just to get over the 162 game hump and finally win a World Series after 162 games as well. I guess hell is experiencing a fucking frozen tundra worse than the 2011 Chicago blizzard. If you know, you know. And if you live in Illinois or like the northeast area of Illinois, you fucking know. Now, after nearly 50 years, again, I'll say that number again. 50. 50 years of no facial hair policy. It was announced back in February. It was announced back in February that the Yankees will allow well-groomed facial hair for their players and their staff, or uniform staff, whatever. Now, we've seen the potential that some of these Yankees players possess with no facial hair. I mean, come on, for crying out loud, Giancarlo Stanton won ALCS MVP this year and practically carried the Yankees throughout the 2024 playoffs. Granted, some players did step up. We saw that, Alex Verdugo, Volpe, like I said, Stanton stepped up in a humongous way. The pitching was there. Unfortunately, none of that was there for the World Series, but that's a conversation. But let's not open that. Anyways, so right now, like I said, we've seen what Yankees players with no facial hair can do. But with the Yankees now allowing their players to have well-groomed facial hair, is it possible for them to go on a revenge tour this year? Facial hair does unlock a lot of magical powers. I've seen it before. I mean, especially when you're dealing with arguably the greatest baseball team. I'm not saying, the team that the Yankees currently have. I'm talking about the Yankees in general. The greatest team in baseball is easily the New York Yankees, and it's not even close. Anyways, with players actually being able to have facial hair this season, I've truly believe that this season for New York might really be a revenge tour like season. The Dodgers practically got everybody that was available in free agency this past year. They got Roki Sasaki. They got somebody from the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is coming back, I believe, for like his final year as a Dodgers pitcher. But right now, I think that with New York uplifting the facial hair policy, I think we're going to see a lot of demons unlocked and a lot of people just lock in to their true level. And we're really going to see what they are actually capable of when they have facial hair. Man, I'm so excited for this season. I just want it to be here already. However, there's another thing coming up. We're going to get to that in a bit. College World Series, my ass. But hey, for now, we're going to remain on the topic of baseball. As the 2025 season approaches, who says you can't be romantic about baseball? I mean, come on. In some recent years, we've seen some teams go on magical playoff runs, big time Cinderella runs. I mean, take the 2019 Nationals, for example. Like, I am never living that down. The fact that they had a less than 1% chance going into the All-Star break to even make the playoffs in 2019 just to go ahead and go on and win it when Soto was like 18 years old at the time. Man. Anyways, now this year we know who the heavy favorites are. The New York Yankees, the LA Dodgers. That's about it. As far as, getting to the World Series goes. And for the Dodgers, obviously possibly repeating. But could there be some teams lurking in the shadows to possibly dethrone the LA Avengers? I say that there is. Unfortunately, whoever's in the American League, y'all better watch out because now that the Yankees have some are going to be growing some facial hair, y'all better watch out. But hey, it's easier said than done. You know, you can make predictions all you want. It's what happens on the field that makes the difference. Now, obviously, the AL East is going to be stacked from head to toe. Maybe not so much for the Tampa Bay Rays. Looks like they're going through quite a few things right now. Blue Jays, there might be something there for them. I don't know, but maybe they take a good step in the right direction. Why Vladimir Guerrero is sticking with them, I don't know. But they got a few legacy players. Bo Bichette, I believe Biggio is still there. I'm not 100% sure. If I'm not, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so we'll see. Honestly, though, I really think that Toronto and Tampa Bay are going to be the two teams that are essentially going to be battling out for the last place spot in the AL East. Now, the Orioles, Yankees, and Red Sox. Red Sox went and got some pretty good players during this offseason. But honestly, the way that they played last season, I really think that they're more than likely just going to be finishing in third place. And then obviously, as you know, we're going to see the Yankees and the Orioles battle it out for the first place spot in the AL East. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on to the AL Central, though. White Sox, not one of, the most horrific seasons I have ever seen in my entire life. 120-plus losses. An MLB record, for crying out loud. Like, I swear to God, if you told me 4 years ago that the White Sox were actually going to still be a contending team for a playoff spot or potentially a World Series. So let's see. They had a good run in about 2020, 2021. 2022, they definitely dropped off. But in 2021, if you told me right now, back in 2021, that in 2025, the White Sox would still be contenders for a playoff spot or a potential World Series spot, I would have said, yeah, you got a point. But the White Sox downfall needs to be seriously evaluated because how you go from where you were 4 years ago to where you are right now is mind-boggling. So, White Sox, y'all not making any noise anytime soon. And if you do, you might see at least 50 wins. Or actually, not at least, at best, 50 wins. All right? Hey, sorry, that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life, guys. All right? No, give me the... Sorry, I'm looking at my phone right now trying to get the standings for the regular season going into the season, but it's giving me spring training. I don't want spring training. Divisions. Here we go. Again, bear with me. I apologize. I'm just trying to pull some things up. No. No, give me the goddamn fucking divisions here. All I'm asking for. Right. Here we go. Always bet on Wikipedia. Anyways, like I said, we're still sticking with the AL Central. The Chicago White Sox, at best, are seeing 50 wins this year. Again, that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. And if they somehow get worse than going 41 and 121 last year, I'll be shocked. Minnesota Twins, they actually they were fighting with the Royals and Indians. I'm still calling them the Indians. Y'all can call them that other fucking name if you want to, but no, I ain't calling them that anytime soon. They're still the Indians no matter what. The Minnesota Twins, their fall off also needs to be studied because, again, they were in the final spot in the AL Central to clinch a wild card spot. I don't know what the hell happened, but apparently going into the second half of the season, the Detroit Tigers and AJ Hinch somehow found something. I don't know what it was, but they found something to go on a hell of a streak, finishing 86 and 76 86 and 76 and claiming the final spot in the AL Central to get that wild card. But we're gonna talk more about the AL West. We're gonna get to them in a bit. The Detroit Tigers, with the young team and talent that they have, and the run that AJ Hinch managed them to go on to get to the wild card, needs to be studied. But the Minnesota Twins, y'all got some work to do. Go back to the drawing board, do something. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to do something to avoid going 82 and 80 if you actually want to make the playoffs this year and bring playoff baseball to Minneapolis. Now, the Kansas City Royals, they were actually decent this year. They really surprised me. I really didn't expect much from them this year, but man, do they have a hell of a rotation as far as batting goes. Their fielding is good. They got another Italian dude that I saw last night against the Cubs. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this dude's last name. Like, it might as well be up there with Vinny Pasquantino, which is insane. But I mean, he had himself a showing last night. Anyways, but look, the Royals, I could easily seeing being contenders with the Cleveland Indians in the AL Central. And speaking of the Cleveland Indians, that brings me to the final team in the AL Central. The Cleveland Indians would go on to finish 92 and 69. Nice. Anyways, they would make it all the way to the ALCS, unfortunately, with losing 5 games to the New York Yankees. But hey, Cleveland, y'all got nothing to be disappointed about. The fact that Junkenzie Noel, woo, big Christmas, and that's a tough fucking nickname if you ask me. Look, y'all got some serious talent down there. You got Emmanuel Clase. Unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time for Emmanuel Clase when he was going up against the Twin Towers being judged in Stanton. But look, I got some good hopes for you, Cleveland. Look, I'm expecting you guys to come out guns blazing and remind everybody in the AL Central, or hell, even the AL in general, like, hey, we got to the ALCS this last year. Now we got to show why that shit wasn't a fluke. Now let's move on to the final division in the American League, the AL West. Oh, God. Now, I'll say this. When it comes to disappointing teams, of course, I'm looking at the LA Angels. There's no team that's more disappointing than the Angels. I mean, sure, there's the Oakland Athletics, but they might find some rhythm soon. But then again, they're playing in Sacramento. They're going to be moving to Vegas pretty soon. I don't know what the hell the owner's thinking right now. He needs to get some talent into that team. He needs to be doing something or fucking sell the team, my dude. You know how bad of an owner you got to be for an Oakland news anchor to berate you live on air and tell you what a bad fucking job you are doing? Clearly you're doing a bad job if a fucking Oakland news anchor is calling you out on it. Oh my God, but who knows what the new field is going to look like? God forbid, because apparently he was sick and tired of not having asses in seats. Like, hey, dipshit, maybe asses would be put in seats if you actually went out and got some fucking talent. Oh my God, there's only so much that some of these guys can do on the team. You have one of the best closers in baseball right now being Mason Miller. You have Bleday. Like, holy shit, do something, dude. For Christ's sake, last year, around, I want to say 4th of July, the Yankees beat them in a 9-0 shutout. Perfect game thrown by Domingo Germán. I'll say that again. The final score was 9-0. Nothing. The Yankees were feeling themselves last night because usually with most perfect games, it comes down to like 1-2-0. 1-2-0. The Yankees put up 9 on these assholes. So somebody needs to step up and be like, hey, dipshit, you're clearly doing a bad job of running this team. Now it's time for me to step up. But in any case, we'll see how the Oakland A's do this going into this season. Maybe they have some new talent that's waiting for them or that's proving themselves in spring training. But I digress. I really don't think that the A's owner is going to look at that talent anytime soon and be like, oh, hey, you want to come up and play at Sacramento minor league team stadium or minor league stadium. At this point, you might as well play at a fucking college baseball stadium. Jesus. Next up on the list in the AL West is the Texas Rangers. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where to begin with the Texas Rangers? Last year, or no, the year prior, 2023, they go on one of the best runs in the playoffs. Adolis Garcia makes his fucking name known. Way to fuck that shit up, St. Louis. And was practically the main reason why the Rangers got to the World Series in the first place. Now, the Diamondbacks will go on a run of their own, sweeping their. Let me backtrack. The Diamondbacks will go on a run of their own that year, sweeping the LA Dodgers in the NLDS. And the Dodgers were heavy favorites in that series. Jesus, I don't know why I wanted to say season. Anyways, but man, so the Texas Rangers would go on and I believe win the World Series in 5 games. They would win it at Arizona and get their first World Series championship in franchise history. This year, or last year in 2024, they would go on and, oh my God, Texas, y'all better pray, or Rangers, y'all better pray that the reason y'all went 78-84 last season was because of injuries. Y'all better pray that was a reason, because that was one of, if not the absolute worst ways to defend winning the World Series or the year. You get the point. The point is the Texas Rangers were one of, if not the worst defending champions I saw last year. I mean, hell. At least when it came to last year, the Seattle Mariners actually made it to the playoffs and were literally on the verge of going back to the playoffs. Again, AJ Hinch and the Detroit Tigers went on some kind of run that needs to be studied. I don't know. You know, the top talent on the Tigers was going down. Javier Baez's downfall still needs to be evaluated, because this dude goes from being in his prime to signing a deal with the Detroit Tigers to literally falling off and swinging at a freaking pitch that would practically be right here in this corner. Like, it would be way out of his reach, and that dude was reaching. In any case, the Seattle Mariners, I don't know, maybe they put up a 500 season this year, or maybe they put up a record similar to this year, finishing 85-77. They got some good talent. J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez is obviously their guy. No, Teoscar Hernandez was traded. They got Randy Rosarena. Yeah, they got some good talent, but I'm not putting too big expectations for the Seattle Mariners this year. If they prove me wrong, hey, we'll talk about it. But for now, look, all I got to say is, as long as the Houston Astros are in charge of the AL West, that is their division. But they lost some pretty key players this offseason. They lost Kyle Tucker to the Chicago Cubs. We're going to get to them in a bit. They lost, I want to say, Alex Bregman to the Boston Red Sox. Let me double check real quick. Let me see if I got my facts straight. Hang on. No, that's the 2024 season. We're looking for the 2025 season. See what their departures were. Roster, spring training. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So in December of 2024, Kyle Tucker would go to the Chicago Cubs for infielder Isaac Paredes and pitcher Hayden Wisniewski and third base prospect Cam Smith. 10 days later, the Astros would go on to sign former Diamondbacks first baseman Christian Walker. We're going to get to them in a bit for a 3-year, $60 million deal. Let's see. Really nothing here. Let's see, January. Come on. I know the Red Sox got somebody. Hang on. Let me go back to the standings real quick. They got somebody from the Astros. That I know. Off season. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So in January, or January 10th, the Red Sox. Anyways, would go on to get Garrett Crochet from the Chicago White Sox, ironically. That's the only big name that I'm looking at right now. 17th. They signed Jaron Duran January 17th to a 1-year deal. 28th, February. Yes, February. That was it. So last month, the Red Sox would sign free agent third baseman Alex Bregman to their team. So, yeah, right now the Astros have lost quite a bit on their team, but right now they still have their captain, Jose Altuve. I believe he is their captain. I believe that, or no, they lost Justin Verlander, one of their aces, to the San Francisco Giants. And, yeah, AL West might be a toss-up this year. I mean, yeah, who knows what'll happen with the West. But enough about the American League. Let's move on to the National League, starting with the NL East. I don't know what the hell the Miami Marlins front office was thinking. Letting go their talent recruiter or whatever, their female talent recruiter. I don't remember what her name was, but obviously really didn't show because Luis Alvarez, their former player, Luis Alvarez, was practically carrying the team. At the same time, I believe they still had Jazz Chisholm, but then he went to the Yankees. Unfortunately, the Yankees, the Marlins would go on to finish the 2024 season 62-100. And for the Marlins, it only goes downhill from here. For Christ's sake, they lost 20-5 to the Red Sox in fucking spring training. So obviously that tells you that Miami really doesn't have much in the bullpen and clearly doesn't have enough talent on their farm system to produce enough runs to actually do something this year. They are definitely going to have a big decrease this season, and it's not even close. Sorry, I'm turning the volume up on my TV because I got Friday Night SmackDown on. Last weekend at Elimination Chamber. We're going to get to that in just a bit. Bianca Belair's former tag team partner, Jade Cargill, would return after getting attacked after it was thought to be that Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan were the ones that attacked her. But once Jade Cargill returned, getting too much in depth about what's going on. We're going to save it for when we get to the Elimination Chamber topic. So, but for right now, let's continue on with the National League. Anyways, let's continue on with the National League. The Washington Nationals. I don't know. Honestly, how they were able to get to 71 wins this year is kind of impressive. But I really don't see them getting any further than that. If they do, hey, good for them. They got some talent. New York Mets. Now, Mets fans really believe that signing Juan Soto to a 15-year, $765 million deal is actually going to do something for them. But, hey, New York, defense is sold separately with this dude. He was literally one of the reasons, offensively, why the Yankees even got to the World Series. But y'all went on a hell of a playoff run, but I really don't see y'all doing anything anytime soon. Maybe getting 90-plus wins. That's about it.
And I need you to lock in with me, and I need you to understand what I'm about to say. I'm going to ask you this. When Jay couldn't compete, who stepped up, who had your back?
Anyways, moving on to the Atlanta Braves. The fucking Braves didn't even deserve to be in the playoffs, if you ask me. They finished with the same record as the New York Mets did, and they basically split a series that they had between each other just so both teams could make the playoffs, robbing a team that should have been in the playoffs. And obviously for the Atlanta Braves, it showed. They lost quite a few pieces. Now, granted, Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be coming back, but they did lose Max Fried. Wouldn't surprise me if they get to 90 wins. That's all I'm going to say.
Everything else other than what we are here for. We are here for Jay. Jay, that's what we're here for. Stop talking about everything else. It is about Jay right now.
Anyways, and then to top things off, speaking of the Philadelphia Phillies. Look, they went 95-67 this year. How they lost to the Mets in the playoffs is kind of beyond me. Anyways, but I do see the Philadelphia Phillies still merging as the NL East champs.
I feel like she's been piggybacking off on you the entire time.
Oh, shut up, Naomi. Anyways, let's move on to the NL Central, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, there's definitely some potential there for them, assuming that they can hang on to Paul Skeens. The dude added 2 new pitches to this guy's arsenal. Dude, you already won Rookie of the Year last year. You're more than likely a lock-in for NL Cy Young. Why do you need to add more pitches to your arsenal, man? Oh, my God. Anyways, so Pittsburgh Pirates, Cincinnati Reds, and Chicago Cubs. I think, look, the Chicago Cubs did lose Cody Bellinger to the New York Yankees. However, they gained Kyle Tucker from the Astros. In any case, look, I think the Pittsburgh Pirates, Cincinnati Reds make a big step forward this season and get some more wins in their column. Maybe between 80 and 85. Who knows? What is this, a fucking soap opera? We need another season of Love in WWE.
It is a yes or it is a no. And I need you to tell me right now because I will walk out of this ring and you will never hear from me again. So tell me here right now.
Oh, she about to turn off those crocodile tears. Give me a sec. Give me 1 second. I want to hear it straight from Naomi's mouth. Oh, she locked in. She did it. Enough of those crocodile tears, bitch. Mystery solved! Oh, stop with the waterworks, girl! Jesus Christ. Get out of here, Naomi. Go back to your boo. Valid crash out from Bianca Belair.
You want to know why this hurts so bad? Because of how much I love you.
Ooh.
You said enough. I can't even look at you right now.
The classic, I can't even look at you right now. And she's looking at her.
We're done.
Valid. Valid, Bianca. Valid.
Don't talk to me.
Got them crocodile tears going. Oh, no, she understand. Oh, her neck okay. Ooh. Oh! You done did it now, Naomi! You done did it. Oh, please let that be Jay. Let that be Jay. Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here, everyone. I'm trying to multitask. This is some insane shit. So all you go. Classic. Oh, here we go. Jesus. Oh my God. Okay, knowing that Naomi did it, valid crash out from Jay Cargill and valid crash out from Bianca Belair. Anyway, let's get back on the road now. As I was saying, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds are going to be making some pretty good steps forward this season. And it wouldn't surprise me if they get into like the 80, 85 win echelon. The Chicago Cubs would finish 83-79. Again, granted, they lost Cody Bellinger to the New York Yankees, but they gained Kyle Tucker from the Houston Astros. They still have some really young talent. Unfortunately, Christopher Morel is no longer with the Chicago Cubs. I believe he is with the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, I don't see the Tampa Bay Rays doing anything this season, but yeah. So I think I really think that the Chicago Cubs will do something this year. Like I said, they got some pretty good young talent. So I think they get 85-90 wins. The St. Louis Cardinals, again, a team with young talent, a lot of experience, second team all time when it comes to World Series, and they finished 83-79 as well. I think that they finish in the same number area of wins as the Chicago Cubs, somewhere in the 85-90 area. The Milwaukee Brewers, who finished 93-69. They lost, I believe, their closer, Devin Williams, to the New York Yankees. But look, they still have a team. They still have Christian Yelich leading the way. I think for the NL Central, for the top spot, it's anybody's game. And now, last but certainly not least, we are going to finish off with the NL West. Now, it's no secret that the LA Avengers are going to be finishing top of the NL West, and it's not even close. San Diego Padres, they are falling off. There's no doubt about that. I think the only team that could really stay within, or two teams, I should say, that could really stay within distance of them are the Arizona Diamondbacks. Granted, they lost Christian Walker to the Houston Astros, but regardless, they still have a team no matter what happens. The San Francisco Giants could do something, especially after acquiring Justin Verlander. Granted, he's up there in age, but man, oh man, he can still throw the heat and he can still put it in the strike zone. Colorado Rockies, I really see them kind of having the same year that they had last year. They went 60, they finished 61 and 101. If they decrease in wins, it wouldn't surprise me. If they get within shouting distance of 70 wins, that would actually surprise me. But that does it for baseball. We shall see who's going to be lurking in the shadows. There is a lot to prove this year. Baseball is not a sprint, it is a marathon. There is a reason it is 162 games, and there is a reason it is America's pastime. Now, because I had the volume up and because WWE Friday Night SmackDown is on, let's talk about last week's WWE pay-per-view Elimination Chamber. Why? Because behold the king! The King of Kings. The game, the cerebral assassin, Triple H has been cooking since he took over WWE. Talent that Vince would have buried is getting pushed. Teams that Vince would have fumbled are getting titles. And same thing with the talent that Vince would have buried. I mean, come on. Like, we got DIY who are two guys who are former NXT champions on their own, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, as the WWE Tag Team Champions. LA Knight, who used to be on NXT as well, is a former United States champion, and is facing Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship tonight. Let's go, my boy. At the end of the match, you will know whose game this is, with everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah. Now, look, again, there's a lot of talent on the main roster of Raw and SmackDown. Yes, sir. Let's go. Now, like I was saying, there's a lot of talent on Raw, both Raw and SmackDown, that are getting pushed right now. They got titles right now. I mean, Gunther, who is the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw, was the NXT UK champion for over 750 days. After that, he would jump up to the main roster, lose some serious weight, and become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion for a total of 666 days. Ironic number to lose your title on. Should have been 670 days, but I'm just saying. Hey, you already know. Going to be getting to that soon after the commercial break. But for right now, we got some WWE to discuss because, man, oh man. So last Saturday, Bianca Belair and John Cena would emerge as the winners of their Elimination Chamber matches. As WrestleMania approaches, could this year's WrestleMania top last year's? Hell yeah! With everything that's cooking right now, hell to the yeah. The only thing that we had to look forward to last year was Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns, and it happened. That was literally the only thing. Of course, I got to see my boy, LA Knight, the megastar, get his first WrestleMania win over AJ Styles. Kudos, AJ. Great match between y'all. But look, it's not even up for discussion that this year's WrestleMania in Las Vegas, Nevada is easily going to top that that explains why I'm like, what the hell is he even talking about? Oh my god. But like I said, it's not even up for discussion that this year's WrestleMania that will be hosted in Las Vegas is easily trumping last year's WrestleMania. Now, don't get me wrong, last year's WrestleMania in Philadelphia was good. But like I said, the only thing we had to look forward to was Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. With everything that's going on right now, woo! This WrestleMania is about to cook. And I'll tell you why. Because for the WWE Championship, we have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania. Now, speaking of John Cena, please, God, please, Jesus, please say Michael the Archangel. Please tell me I am in a different universe right now. Why? Because what the actual hell, John Cena? I have seen a lot of insane heel turns during my time watching WWE. Even continue to watch the greatest heel turn of all time with Hulk Hogan being the third member to join NWO at WCW Bash at the Beach. However, I'm sorry to say this, Andrew. I am sorry to say this. However, last Saturday at WWE Elimination Chamber might have topped Hogan's heel turn as John Cena, who's been a face since 2003, sold his soul to The Rock and would turn heel. Now, earlier, Randy got SmackDown started and was cutting a promo saying, hey, John, you've been one of my friends since I came into this business. We've had difficult ways of doing things, but we've had similar paths. But to sell your soul to The Rock, man, that's low. But then again, I guess it gives a whole definition to the term rock bottom, which is also The Rock's finishing move. Anyways, now, last Saturday, was Cena's heel turn the biggest heel turn since Hogan, or did it top Hogan's heel turn? Look, I didn't grow up watching Hogan. I only saw him past, like when it was the WWF and everything like that, just basically coming back so Vince could get an easy paycheck and whatnot. And when John Cena was in his prime. But for over 20 years, Cena has been a face. Even when people hated him and the crowd was chanting, John Cena sucks, during his entrance, the dude was literally orchestrating it. Now, granted, he was supposed to turn heel after losing to The Rock at WrestleMania, I want to say 29. Like, he even said it. He had a new uniform ready. He had a new he had a new theme song ready. He had everything ready. But Vince was like, nah, you're going to stay a face, dude, because you're the top selling merch dude in WWE. You're making the most make-a-wish wishes come true for WWE. Like, you're doing all this stuff to make us look good. You're staying a face, my guy. So at some point, I really didn't. So for the most part, I really didn't see it coming. But at the same time, I can understand why it was coming. But again, I'm sorry. This really does top Hogan's heel turn at Bash at the Beach, because there are so many kids, including Make-A-Wish Foundation, that looked up to Cena. So many kids of this generation who also looked up to Cena. Obviously, us millennials who grew up watching Cena during like the Super Cena, Dr. Thugonomics, when he won his first WWE championship, and he was still doing freestyles when coming out. I mean, this dude was looking damn near invincible. And then obviously from my childhood, gracing us with probably the best rivalry I've seen being between him and Edge. I mean, it couldn't have been any more perfect, because you had the rap guy being John Cena versus a rock guy, Edge. I mean, it was too perfect, and they knew exactly what they were doing. And then obviously the rivalry between him and Orton, which would explain why they're such close friends now. So look, like I said, in my opinion, I think this is I think this heel turn for John Cena does top Hulk Hogan's. Right now, Friday Night SmackDown is currently on the USA Network. Hopefully, The Rock and John Cena come out. Hopefully, we get to hear John Cena's new theme if he has one. Maybe he comes out to one of the songs on his 2005 album, The Time Is Now. That song being Bad Bad Man. Maybe he comes out to Basic Thugonomics. We'll never know. But for right now, we're going to take our first commercial break. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But until then, we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back from commercial break. Woo! Man, oh man, am I excited for tomorrow night. The stage is set. Like I said, be sure to tune in 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Midwest Time, and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for UFC 313. As I will be doing a live stream on this channel for y'all to tune in and enjoy. And I'm going to be having a special guest here with me while we provide commentary for the fights. Now, I will say this. If you have a problem with us being louder than the actual volume of the fight, look, it's as good as it's going to get. I'm sorry. You want to be able to find a place to stream the fight otherwise? Feel free. Fine by me. Because guess what? Unless you have some money and you can go out to B-dubs, that's about as good as it's going to get. Unless you got $60 in your pocket and you can afford the fight, that's about as good as it's going to get. I'm sorry. In any case, look, the stage is set for tomorrow night and expect fireworks in the main event of the evening. And look, the main event is not going to disappoint as light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira defends his title. Excuse me. as light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira puts his title on the line against challenger Magomed Ankalaev. Now, Pereira has been on a tear in the light heavyweight division since winning the UFC light heavyweight title. In his last 5 fights, all 5 fighters that have stepped to him have been knocked down or have been lucky enough to go to have been lucky enough to see a decision. Meanwhile, Magomed Ankalaev has won 3 out of his last 5 fights, 2 of them coming by a draw or a no contest. Now, will Pereira's reign continue as a light heavyweight champion, or does Ankalaev have a trick or 2 up his sleeve? But I'm going to tell it to you like this. Pereira has been on a rampage in his last 5 fights. Look, I mean, this is the same dude that had Israel Adesanya's number. The dude literally switched sports because he beat Adesanya twice in that sport. Adesanya jumped to the UFC, so did Pereira. Pereira faced Adesanya for the middleweight championship. Pereira took him down. So obviously Pereira's doing something right, and it won't surprise me when Pereira walks away. Still, the reigning, defending, undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Alex Pereira, baby. All right, now let's move on to some hockey as the chase is on for the great 8 Alex Ovechkin, who now sits 10 goals away from passing the great one in all-time goals with 20 games left in the regular of course. Anyways, with 20 games left in the regular season, can the great 8 surpass the great one in all-time goals? Hell fucking yes. All he has to do is get at least 1 goal per game or 1 goal every other game, and this dude is the new leader in all-time goals. This dude has practically done everything that there is to do in the NHL. He is an MVP. He is a 2-time NHL cover athlete. Anyways, he is a Stanley Cup champion. He is a Stanley Cup MVP. The list goes on and on with this dude's accomplishments. So, this is just adding to his major list of accomplishments. To pass the great one in all-time goals is a serious, serious feat. And man, oh man, look, we all know hockey because of Wayne Gretzky. And man, this dude's accomplishments go on. But man, there's a reason that he's called the great one for a reason. And look, no disrespect to Wayne Gretzky, but man, it's going to... If and when Ovechkin passes Wayne Gretzky in all-time goals, that's a hell of an accomplishment. And you know he's going to get his flowers and eventually a seat at the table of the all-time NHL great. But, yeah, here we go. But we shall see what happens. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NHL right now. The Florida Panthers are the reigning defending Stanley Cup champions. They're looking pretty good right now. There's a few teams ahead of them. I believe the Winnipeg Jets are the team with the best record in the league right now. But, hey, that only gets you so far. Look, it doesn't matter what you do during the regular season. What matters is what you do during the during the postseason, the playoffs, the Stanley Cup Finals. So we shall see who will emerge, either repeat champions, aka the Florida Panthers, or new Stanley Cup champions. We shall see what happens. But speaking of playoffs and bringing your A game, not to mention, it doesn't matter what you do during the regular season. What matters is what you do during the postseason, because we are a week and a half away from the greatest college tournament of all time. College World Series, my ass! Upsets are sure to be looming, and Cinderella runs are on the horizon as well. Woo! I cannot wait. In the end, there can only be one that will hoist the national championship title. Who will be the two teams in the men and women's tournaments that hoist up that beloved national basketball, that beloved college basketball national championship trophy? For me, like I discussed in the second topic of this show, I'm lurking in the shadows. Why? Because, baby, welcome to Connecticut, the early colonial settlement. I got the Yukon Huskies getting that coveted three-peat. They're 21-9 right now. Why the fuck they're not even in the top 25 is beyond me, because you have literal teams with practically the same record as them that are in the bottom portion of the top 25. And fucking mind-blowing. But, hey, Dan Hurley, we'll figure something out, and I think that Connecticut will get a run. Now, as far as big favorites go, it's definitely going to be teams that are easily in the top five. Co-host or host of the most villainous college sports talk show you will find on social media, one Mr. Andrew Anderson, said that he likes Florida as being the national champions of college basketball. Now, they already had a hell of a run in both 2006 and 2007 when they had Joakim Noah. That was then. This is now. Woo! But look, if Florida does win the national championship this year, is it possible that it is the return of Florida basketball? Maybe. But as far as the women go, I'm taking a safe bet and going with the South Carolina Gamecocks, baby. I mean, look, they won the championship last year, beating Iowa. Right now, they look like Dawn Staley is the head coach. Who knows what'll happen? But again, this is the beauty of March Madness. We shall see what happens. Oh my God. My boy LA Knight about to cut a promo. I'm going to shut up for a quick minute.
I guess it was all gas, no brakes. On Jacob Fatu's big fat keister going through that table, huh? Yeah. What that means is the man who cost me the U.S. Championship last time around out of the picture. That means no distractions. That means Shinsuke Nakamura tonight. It is you, it is me. Ichigo Ichien. Which I know that you know what that means, and what that means is one moment, one time. One time is all it takes for the BFT to smack you back to factory centers. And then, the one moment is us standing right here in the birthplace of the United States, Philadelphia, PA.
He's not wrong.
And that one moment, which we can never relive again, it is here. So savor it while it is, because right now that means we are standing in the birthplace of the rebirth of my U.S. title reign. Yeah. And you know, if you think about it, I've dealt with sneak attacks. I've dealt with the mist. I've dealt with it all, and I stood tall. Uh-huh. Yeah. But I put it to you like this. Old Glory, it's kind of needed a better representation as of late. And that's exactly what I'm going to give it. Because, Shin, I hope the shadows were good to you. Because I'm not going to be. Out of the shadows and into the light. Once again, we can all pledge allegiance to the United States champion, with everybody saying, L.A. Yeah.
Again, he continues to cook. He is a modern day version of Stone Cold and The Rock. Also, big shout out to the 39 people that are tuning in right now for tonight's episode of the most uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored sports talk show you will find on social media. Anyways, so we are moving on from college basketball, and now we are going back to baseball. This probably should have been up there with talk about the New York Yankees and who could possibly be a team in the National League, or even goes to the World Series and dethrones the reigning, defending World Series champions, LA Avengers, because that's literally what they spent their money on to basically assemble the Avengers. But I'll put it to you like this. Hell is just not having a good time when it comes to experiencing weather. Why? Because, look, normally I don't like mixing politics and sports, but because they don't go hand in hand. Obviously, we've seen it before. We'll probably be seeing it again. But look, they just don't go hand in hand. But there's one good thing that politics and sports there's one good thing that politics and sports are going to be bringing right now, and that is the fact that it was recently announced that President Trump is pardoning legendary baseball player Pete Rose, a.k.a. Charlie Hustle, allowing him to go into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, was this a long time coming? Hey, what's good, Terry? You already know. Hell yeah. What you having? What you having, man? Serve them up. So like I was saying, Trump is pardoning Pete Rose that will allow him to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, if you don't know what Pete Rose was doing, he was gambling on baseball, and unfortunately, that was the one thing that tarnished his legacy and kept him from being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. But ooh, okay. Sounds interesting. I'm open to trying new things. But yeah, was this a long time coming for Charlie Hustle, aka Pete Rose? Hell the fuck yes, it was. This was easily a long time coming for Pete Rose. The dude should have been in the Hall of Fame to begin with the second that he retired. I mean, look, I get it. People are going to make arguments that Barry Bonds should also be in the Hall of Fame as well because of the whole steroid era thing. Obviously, it was said that Big Papi was taking steroids, but he's in the Hall of Fame. I believe Alex Rodriguez is in the Hall of Fame, and he was also taking steroids as well. Roger Clemens, I believe, is not being inducted into the Hall of Fame because he missed his shot because he was also one of the guys doing steroids at the time. But to keep a guy like Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame, hell yeah, dude. Charlie Hustle, baby. Dude, that's what's up. That is what's up. Yeah, look, there's a lot of controversy for a lot of players of why they're not in the Hall of Fame, but the second that Pete Rose retired, he easily should have gone into the Hall of Fame. Look, I get it. Gambling, that's a big no-no. Obviously, you see where it gets you when you're gambling, when you're a professional athlete and you're gambling on sports alone. Who the fuck was Calvin Ridley was suspended an entire year for gambling on sports. Shit, what was that Missouri basketball player's name? He had a brother on the Toronto Raptors, a literal nobody who gambled on NBA games and then was like, sorry, dude, kick rocks. But again, it was like, to quote Conor McGregor, who the fuck is that guy? But anyways, look, Rose admitted it. He admitted he was wrong to do it. And it's like, bro, can't you just let bygones be bygones and let this dude in? I did see the autograph pick. Fucking amazing. Look, I'll say this. There's never going to be another Pete Rose in our lifetime. Never, ever. Ooh, you talking about the U.S. championship matchup between LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura? Or are you talking about the UFC fight? Because that is tomorrow night. But yeah, look, this is easily a long time coming for Pete Rose. Definitely well deserved. I can't wait to see him be inducted. Wish he was still here with us today so he could give one hell of an amazing speech, because we all know that he would. But hey, rest easy, Pete Rose, dude. You're going into the Hall of Fame, my man. You're going into the Hall of Fame. Oh, man. All right. So we are going to take our final commercial break, and then we are going to be talking about a few more things. Until then, we will be right back.
The one you love to hate, Andrew Anderson, spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College sports villain, taking it over the place. I'll bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain, well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. I rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free. Unleashing the truth.
Welcome back, and we just got two more things to discuss before I bid you adieu. And but right now, I hope everybody is enjoying their Friday night and having a good time right now. Look, like I've always said, I hope you're having fun. Know your limits, but at the end of the night, it's all about having fun, and that is it. Before we get into the final two topics, I want to answer some comments. The Pereira fight. So I got Pereira winning. Unfortunately, that fight is not tonight. That will be being shown tomorrow night. I will be doing a live stream of UFC 313. Now, me personally, I think the fight should have been held in Detroit at Ford Field. Why? Because look at the number. 313, baby. Come on. In any case, like I said, I got Pereira winning the fight. continuing his reign as a light heavyweight champion, the roof is going to go off on that place when the main event starts. So I don't think anyone will ever. No, hell no. There's a lot of things in baseball that are gonna remain undefeated, like Ricky Henderson's stolen base record, Pete Rose's hit record, Joe DiMaggio's fucking hit streak record as well. There's a lot of things, this being one of them, that are gonna stay undefeated for a while and for a very, very long time. But hey, let's talk some football. We're just a few short months away. We're in the off season right now. Now, speaking, some players got paid, and it's reasonable. But I will say this: it is about damn time that a running back gets paid for his fucking performance. Look at your way, Titans. The way you disrespected King Henry for so long when he played for you guys, clearly showing that he deserved to get paid. You put injuries aside. The dude literally carried your team, and he was playing with a mediocre quarterback being Ryan Tannehill. But hey, I guess for a guy like Ryan Tannehill, mediocre is being generous. But hey. Guess some people, or rather, some teams got to learn the hard way. Now, fresh off winning their second Super Bowl in franchise history, the Eagles would go on and extend running back Saquon Barkley. Let's be honest, he really wasn't doing much in New York playing for the Giants. They had a terrible O-line, barely any weapons. The entire offense revolved around him. But hey, he said he wanted to stay a Giant. He wanted to get paid. Unfortunately, the front office had their heads so far up their asses, they could see a New York chopped cheese in their stomach. In any case, the Eagles would go on and extend running back Saquon Barkley to a 2-year, $41 million contract extension, making him the highest paid running back because he's going to be getting $20 million a year, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. As if they weren't before, after paying Saquon Barkley, are the Eagles now the clear favorites to win, to not only go back to the Super Bowl, but also get the coveted Super Bowl repeat? Hell fucking yes, they are. The tush push is basically a cheat code for the Philadelphia Eagles. So many teams want that move banned, and it's like, hey, if you want it banned, maybe you did a sucky job at it. The only team I saw that actually was doing a good job with it were the freaking Bills. Granted, they lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Big surprise. Saquon looked like he was transported back to his Penn State days, but Eagles fans are like, oh my God, we have the number one defense. We have a hell of a receiving core. We have Jalen Hurts. We have the best offensive line. Okay, cool. So why the fuck was Saquon in the MVP voting and not everybody else of the Eagles? Hell, maybe Jalen Carter should have been in the voting for Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, that wasn't the case, but hey, to each their own, I guess, because having Saquon Barkley, or the Eagles having Saquon Barkley as their running back, obviously took the edge off of their wide receivers, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and a whole bunch more, because other teams knew just how dangerous Saquon Barkley was and what he was exactly capable of when he finds a seam. The dude had play of the year backwards hurdling over a fucking defender, for crying out loud. That wasn't no coast to coast, bitch. Anyways, but look, with Barkley returning to the Philadelphia Eagles, it's no secret that the Eagles are easily the favorite to not only go back to the Super Bowl, but repeat as champions as well. They have the tush push. Yeah, I mean, for crying out loud, Saquon, much like Jalen Hurts, can squat damn near 700 pounds. So it's no surprise that, they're still going to be going into the season with the tush push. But we'll see what happens this year. It's not going to be too big a surprise just how good the Eagles do this year. So wait and see kind of thing. In any case, let's move on from football to basketball. Now, normally I don't like talking about basketball. Why? Because it's trash, it's ass, it is so many things. It has been so many things in recent years because the points are like 150 to 135. Look, about a year or two ago, God damn, Meechin. About a year or two ago, sorry, she was shaking that ass on national television. Sorry. Anyways, look. Again, about a year or two ago, the NBA All-Star game, the guys weren't even competing. They scored nearly 400 points in that game alone. And on top of that, we have a 3-time dunk champion, Mac McClung, who apparently wanted to wear a Magic jersey. He has no points per game. He has 1 rebound and I believe 2 assists. The dude is a G League player. Can we actually get some fucking dunker silver? But he's not going to do anything anytime soon. The dude practically came up with the in-season tournament just so he can compete in viewership with college football and the NFL. Dude, let the NFL do its thing. Then, and only then, maybe we'll focus our attention on basketball, assuming that hockey is down the crapper. But there's no chance of that happening anytime soon because as we saw from the Four Nations face-off, guys are more than likely going to play hurt and leave it all on the line for their goddamn country, something that NBA players can't even do. Former player in hockey analysis, PK Subban, after the Four Nations face-off, went on ESPN's Get Up and put everybody, including the NBA, on fucking blast, and rightfully so. NBA players are load managing. They're like, oh, well, you know what? My big toe is hurting for some ungodly reason, so I'm just going to sit out for a few games. Even LeBron James decided to sit out for the All-Star game. Like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Congratulations, you scored 50,000 points. What the fuck? Who? All right, hold on. We got somebody waiting backstage. He is a host of College Sports Villains, and here he is.
I'm a bad guy, the one you love to hate. Andrew Anderson, spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College Sports Villains, taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain. Well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free. Unleashing the truth.
Andrew, what's good, buddy? Oh,
What's going on, man?
not much. I was actually leading up to the season that the Mavs have been having since Luka got traded. But, I mean, that's the only thing that's actually been making the NBA this year watchable.
Yeah, so they're done. Anthony Davis immediately went out. Kyrie's done for the season.
Yep. I mean, look, if you're a Mavs fan, it's a horrible year to be a Mavs fan.
Yeah. I mean, it's just reality. It's what I was saying. I think the leadership there is bad, and I think that's why Luka was gonna leave after the season, which is why they traded him to get something. I think Luka saw what all of us didn't see yet. Just bad decision upon bad decision.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, so one of the things I was talking about was again, I don't like mixing politics and sports because it's just not a good combination. But it was recently announced that President Trump is pardoning Pete Rose so he can be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, how was this a long time coming for him?
So yeah, he should have been pardoned. I mean, it's crazy talk. I still don't think Major League will put him in. I mean, they banned him for life. Even if they pardon him for gambling, the Major League still, has the choice whether to put him in or not.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, like I said, the second that he retired should have been the second that he went into the Hall of Fame. I mean, like Terry said, his hit record is going to be standing for a long time to come. And it's just going to be one of those records that stand the test of time, and just nobody's beating that anytime soon.
No, they're not. And he was
aside, oh, go ahead.
no, he was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I give anything to watch that guy play, but hey, he lives with us in spirit, and we have his highlights to watch, and I'm sure it's like one highlight after another.
I mean, Pete Rose was that dude. I actually got to watch him play as a kid. So I didn't watch him live. I mean, on TV and stuff like that. And but I was alive during that era, and he was really good when he came on, and like it commanded attention because Pete Rose was there. And at one point, he was playing first base and coaching the team.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was. He was a player and a coach. It was really cool. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, so right now I got Friday Night SmackDown on, and as if there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. I don't think it tops what actually happened last Saturday, as for the first time since 2003, John Cena would sell his soul to The Rock and turn heel. Now, do you think this was the biggest heel turn that we've ever seen, or do you think it tops Hulk Hogan's?
No, absolutely not. Hulk Hogan shook the wrestling industry with what he did. Cena had been heel before.
Yeah.
And Hogan had not. So it was definitely the biggest heel turn since Hulk Hogan, but I don't think it was a bigger heel turn than Hulk Hogan.
That's fair. All right. And then, yeah, so for the first time in 50 years, the Yankees are allowing their players and uniform staff to have well-groomed facial hair this year. Now, we've seen the potential that they have with no facial hair. I'm curious to see what they have with facial hair. Do you think it's possible that they go on a revenge tour this year?
I think they win the American League again. I think they're the best team in the American League, but I think, once again, we're going to see the Dodgers repeat. Just too much firepower there. I mean, they got everybody. I mean, they've essentially assembled the Avengers. I mean, that's just reality. But yeah, I think the Yankees win the American League again. I predicted them to win the World Series last year, but yeah, Dodgers just too much.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have two pitching rotations right now, which is insane. They have arguably the best player in baseball right now being Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
But man, I think this year is going to be a crazy year. I'm excited to see what certain teams are going to be doing this year. We'll see what happens after spring training.
Yeah, I think we'll see more of the same. So, but we'll see. I won't be watching Major League Baseball at all
Mhm.
because they got the Braves blacked out in the area completely.
Oh, that's a bummer.
You're not allowed. I mean, like I got to watch 3 games all of last year. So until Rob Manfred's fired for
Hmm.
the shit that he is, I will not be watching Major League Baseball.
That makes sense.
Like,
That makes sense, and that's understandable.
ratings are down by 30%, and like since this dumb fuck, because that's what he is, he's a goddamn idiot. Like, there's no reason he's running this organization. He's like, I don't understand why ratings are down because people can't watch their favorite team. You dumb fuck.
Yeah, like you got them blacked out in the areas that they're in that they should be shown in.
Where their fans are. Yeah, that's
Yes,
like he's an idiot. He is a terrible businessman.
he is. But I'll tell you this: I'd rather watch baseball than basketball because of the job that Adam Silver's doing.
I mean, he ruined my favorite sport. So I do not like that guy.
Very true. But hey, thankfully, in just a few short months, it's almost football season. And look, like I said, it's about damn time that a running back gets paid for his performance. And the like I was saying, the Titans disrespected Derrick Henry for so long with the years that he was giving them, especially with a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill under center. But right now, Saquon was extended by the Eagles on a 2-year, $41 million extension, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. Now, if it wasn't already clear that the Eagles are more than likely going to repeat this year, does them extending Saquon make them the clear favorites to repeat this year?
I mean, if they keep that team intact, we saw what they did to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, bro. They had their fucking backups in. I mean, that's, that's a good team. I preseason picked them to win the Super Bowl, remember? So, like, we already knew how good they were. They added Saquon Barkley. Running backs generally didn't get those kind of contracts anymore because their injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Just the nature of the beast at that position. But Saquon Barkley, he's worth every penny of it. He showed it this year. Like, you couldn't stop him. Like, he was leaping over people, turning backwards in the middle of the air, and kept running. Like, the dude's Superman. He's the
He
best
really
running
is.
back in the league.
He is the all-around definition, the definition of a perfect running back.
He is.
And I mean, like, he's got speed, he's got agility, he's got jumps. I mean, it's insane.
Oh yeah, he's by far the best running back in the league, and he deserved that extension. And honestly, in about 2 years after his 2-year contract, he will be coming toward the twilight of his career. Age just takes its toll on all of us. But he's worth it for 2 more years. He's still in his prime.
Oh yeah. I mean, the way that he was playing last year, shit, I really thought this dude went back to Penn State.
I mean, he's just phenomenal. And as soon as the Eagles added him, like, I'll be honest with you, as soon as the Eagles signed him, that's when I decided that they're probably going to be my Super Bowl favorites, and it turned out to be a good call.
Yeah. No, it definitely turned out to be a good call. But I mean, look, I made a comment on ESPN's Get Up Instagram page. Like, look, Saquon is one of, if not the main reason that the Eagles are on a win streak right now, and will be, and it will stay that way if they win the Super Bowl. And out of nowhere, all these so-called Eagles fans are like, oh, well, we got the best defense in the league. We got the best offensive line in the league. We got the best wide receivers. We got this. We got that. It's like, okay, so why aren't they in the MVP voting along with Saquon? Why is he up there with, like, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, you know?
Well, here's the reality of it, right? So the MVP is a quarterback award.
Yeah.
It just is. That's all it'll ever be going forward. But Saquon Barkley deserved to be NFL MVP this year, and it's a shame that they didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that Josh Allen got it because he was the best quarterback, and since this is a quarterback award, I get it. But Saquon Barkley deserved that award, and it's a shame that he didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if any, did he win Offensive Player of the Year?
Yes.
Okay, well, hey, I mean, a good consolation prize for Saquon, but yes, he definitely should have won MVP last year, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, so going back to the Mavericks, since the Luka trade, like you said, Anthony Davis is more than likely ruled out for the season. Kyrie's out for the season on a torn ACL. Klay Thompson is still trying to prove, like, hey, I can keep winning without Steph Curry. Well, dude, you might want to go back to the Warriors because your season with the Mavs is done. Unfortunately, the Warriors are winning right now since they acquired Jimmy Butler in a trade. And since Luka came onto the floor, the Lakers are now on an 8-game win streak, are in second place of the Western Conference, and sit 10 games back behind the OKC Thunder. Now, obviously, the Mavericks season is done this year, but after this season, should Mavericks GM Nico Harrison consider looking for another job somewhere else?
Well, you had one of the best players in the league, and you went to the finals the year before, and then in the off season you made no acquisitions. You did nothing to make the team better. And he may have been out of money. I'm not sure what the Luka and Kyrie contract. I'm sure that ate up a lot of the money. I'm sure it did. But then and it just proved that while Luka and Kyrie can out there score, you're not stopping anybody, and it's cool to score 80 points with them too. But if the other team's scoring 120, well, that just does not work, does it?
No, it really does not. I mean, yeah, Luka's showing like, hey, I still have my IQ and everything like that. I can still get us the ball, but as the old saying goes, defense wins championships.
Correct. That
So,
applies.
but
Every
we'll see how the season progresses. Right now, unfortunately, as much as I hate saying it, Luka has essentially revitalized LeBron James for about another 2-3 years. So the Lakers might as well be clear favorites to win the finals this year.
I don't think we see 2-3 more years of LeBron. I don't think we see that. I think he's done after this year. He wanted to hit the 50,000, and he wanted to play a little basketball with his son. He got to do both this year.
Very true.
He's a 4-time champion, and now he can ride off into the sunset, accomplishing what he wanted to the most, being 50,000 points, playing with his son. I think we've seen the end of LeBron this year, but I do think the Lakers are now the favorites to win. And especially if they win the NBA Finals this year. Oh yeah. What better way to ride off in the sunset? You hit 50,000. You got to play with your son. You got an NBA title. It's time to roll.
Yeah, I mean, right now for the Lakers, it's a win-win. If they win the championship, like you said, what better way for LeBron to ride off into the sunset and, winning his 5th ring, getting to play with his son, getting to set an all-time new record of 50,000 plus points. And on top of that, the Lakers have a franchise guy moving forward, being Luka Doncic.
Right.
So, I mean, this year has been crazy. I mean, NHL is going to be crazy once the playoffs start. Baseball is going to be crazy once the regular season starts. And on top of that, we are a week and a half away from the greatest college tournament of all time. College World Series can go kick rocks because March Madness is the one.
I think the College World Series is fantastic. Watching South Carolina win back-to-back national championships, that was really cool. But all in all, watching the College World Series, if South Carolina's not in it, I'll watch it, but I'm not invested. Yeah. March Madness, I'm invested in every single team, doesn't care who it is. March Madness is better than the College World Series. A lot of people, certain person doesn't want to admit it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it really is what it is. I mean, with the tournament, we get to see some of the biggest upsets in the tournament. 16 seeds beating 1 seeds. We get to see magical Cinderella runs. Take Loyola Chicago for example, when they made it to like the Elite 8, and Sister Jean was the magic behind everything on that run.
Yep.
So we shall see what happens. But hey, I want to thank you so much for being able to come on for the amount of time that you did. Hope
Sorry
you
I
have an
was late.
awesome Friday night. And hey, tomorrow night's going to be even better.
I get off at 5 tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to. I mean, like I don't know nothing about UFC, but I'm gonna try to hop on for a few.
All right, for sure, man. Hell yeah.
See you, man.
See ya. Peace. All right. So that concludes tonight's episode of No Mercy Sports. Like I said, tomorrow night I will be doing a live stream with a special guest host of UFC 313. You're not gonna want to miss it. It's gonna be an awesome time. But for right now, have fun tonight, everyone. All right. Know your limits, but have some fun. Until then, peace.
The dangerous